Hello, I'm back. Finally. I have been absent for a while, I know. But here I am. I'm trying to do somewhat Vlogtober. If you are new here, welcome over here. My name is Emilia. I live in Sweden with my husband, with our 4 lovely kids. But boy as stubborn they can be. And our 5 dogs. Not 6 anymore. And a lot of chicken, ducks, turkeys, apples, potatoes, and so on this little small farm. The thing I do is knitting, spinning, crocheting, sewing, diamond paintings, cleaning the house, renovating the house, but I will talk only about knitting today. And that's the thing I use to talk about. Knitting, spinning, and crocheting is my main things to talk about. So, I have been gone for a while. I know. And I will tell you all about that in the end. Now we are going to talk about probably the reason you are here, knitting. But first I need to have a sip on my quite highly energizing drink. So I'm not falling asleep because I live on drinks with energy in now a day because I don't have any energy left. So we are going to jump straight into it. As I said, it had been a while. I think it had been since May or maybe June. And I have done a few things. If you are a returning viewer, I have done almost nothing as I used to do. If you are looking at the amount, I used to do quite a lot of things, but this time I have actually only finished 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So it is what it is. I have made something. Anyways, we will just jump straight into it, and I do also have a lot of whips and future projects. We shall start with the finished object number 1. It's this pair of mittens. I cannot show you them because I have already given them to my mom. The black yarn, anyway, in this pair of mittens. The pattern for this mitten is the world's simplest mittens from Tinka Knits in the size adult, medium, DK weight. And if you know, it's just a blank canvas, and then you can apply any pattern you want, or motif if you want to say. So I made this small heart, but the black yarn anyways. And then we have a fly. I thought I have killed them all, but I didn't. Sorry for the lighting. We have to work with what we have. So the black yarn is actually from our dog that we lost 22nd of September. It was a hard blow. 2 years ago I spun up some yarn from him, and this little turd, if I had to say my own words, I love that boy to pieces though. He was one of my best co-worker in the forest, one of my best search dogs ever. He have done so much good things, so I will talk a little bit more about him later on. But this was my mom's dog, and she got him as her pet dog. Seriously, this flies, they drive me nuts. When she got him as a puppy, he was a golden setter. I have not been used to say he was. In my mind, he's still here though, but he's not. I need to get used to that. As a puppy, straight after she had one of her big neck surgeries, when I was a little girl, she was in a very horrible car crash with a moose. And when I have seen picture of that car, and also the rescue people said that she's really lucky to be alive. But for many years she was going with this neck pain and also back pain, and they was blaming it on her. She has another. She has something. I cannot remember now. But anyways, I would try to keep it quite quite slow. But I need to explain the thing with these dogs and why I don't have mittens and she do. Anyway, for very, very, very many years she was just left out that this is depending on your other ground sickness that you have and stuff like that. It wasn't. She had a very, very destroyed neck, so she has actually replaced a lot of things in her neck. So she is, we used to call her Terminator, because almost this part of her vertebrae and things like that are right now just in metal. Anyway, so when she was at her worst place in her life, she was getting this dog, and because he was a Gordon setter, and my dad is a hunter. I'm also a hunter, but my main thing is when hunting going south, or when it is just a car crash with a wild animal, then we search for the animals and we are making them not as miserable and just put them down. Because I the hardest thing, I cannot see animals suffering. It's a hard thing for me, so yeah, I do what I can to find them as quick as possible. I do not rescue humans. I don't. That another team. I go for the animals. You know. So anyway, it's a search dog. But he have also been searching for people, so I should not say not only injured animals, also lost peoples. He was one of the greatest one. And she, as I said, it was her dog, but he was my co-worker in the forest, and I've spent so many hours with him. I have had so much fun with him. He have driven me crazy. He have been the most stubborn dog I have ever had work with in my whole life. Many persons have told me it's impossible to make that top-notch search dog that you are looking for from a golden setter, but we did. Every competition we have been to, we have been on the first place. him and I. The last one we did, I was actually highly pregnant with Alva, so yeah, I think it was just a few weeks before Alva I give birth to Alva, so my belly was huge. I was so heavy, and oh well. But anyways, he would have killed people for my mom if someone even tried to hurt her. He was so loyal to her, and it was really, they have a special bond, a really, really special bond. I have had a lot of dogs in my life, and it's always sad. It's always so hard to lose them, but this was something else for her. And I think if I lose my falcon, it will probably be the same. Anyways, I was sitting for almost 3.5 hours to try to brush him off his fur, because he was so stubborn. We had a lot of fights who was owning the hairbrush. Because every time I was trying to brush him, he'd literally take the brush with his mouth and just pull it away from me. So I got 29 grams out of those 3 hours in actually yarn. And I had actually forgot that I did that yarn when my husband told me, but didn't you spun up some yarn from him? And I realized, yes, I did. And I had set it aside in my box with all my handspun yarn, with a little note that it said Sigvard von Fiesenstrahle, and also the dates when I spun it and how much it was, and also this fight for 3 hours for this little source of fur to spin. So I made the mittens to her. It was a very, 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 very quick knit, and I gifted them to her the 28th of September because then it was her birthday. She was crying a lot when I gifted her the mittens, but she was so happy, and she had been wearing them every morning now when we have like some frosty mornings, but not much. But we are in like 1 and 2 degrees Celsius now. Some days we have been at 0 too. So, and she's a very cold person. Not cold hearted, just cold. She's freezing all the time. And also she have been wearing them in her purse. So she is keeping them very close to her, and I think I did the right decision to actually make a pair of mittens and not a pair of socks with the hearts on, because I think mittens will hold up so much longer for her, so she can cherish them and use them. So that's the finished object number 1, with a very sad but memorable story. And a very lovely dog. A very, very lovely dog. And yeah, now we need to move on, I feel. So, then I also have made another little thingy. In my last episode, I don't even know if you do remember now, but I was talking about that I was trying to make a sweater for Alva in half fisherman ribs. Yeah, I did, and I was working on it and keep going. I had to rip it out, start over again because I didn't have a pattern. That's so typical me. Don't have a pattern. And she was growing, and I was working way too slow. So when I had just split for the sleeves, then I laid it on ice for a while. The mid of the summer came, and we were going away to my other house. And I tried it on because I thought it would be a great go away project. I realized that I need to rip it all out again and start over because she has been growing. Oh my goodness. So I lay in my bed in the middle of the night and thinking, I want something with texture. I want raglan sleeves. Anyway, I was looking through to see something like and something more, something texture, something a little bit more, and raglan, as said. And I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't have any lenses in. That means that I am more or less legally blind. Yes. And I stumble up a pattern. I do not remember the pattern's name now, or not the designer. I know the designer I have never heard about before. So she's maybe new, maybe not new for me anyway. And I thought, oh, this pattern is really beautiful, and it have something. It have a ruffle. You tie it in the back. It had some texture, and I was thinking it had a quite interesting, a little bit more advanced texture, because I wanted something a little bit more brain heavy, a little bit more advanced, not just plain stockinette knitting. I wanted something more. Yeah, so I bought the pattern in the middle of the night. And in the morning, I read through the pattern. Yes, I love you too, Maxie. I do. I love you too. I love you too. You little turd. And realize that it was not something more brain heavy or advanced. It was just a pearl stitch. See how it can be when you don't have your glasses on. So anyway, don't you dare. It's my rug. Don't you dare. So this is the outcome of it. It was a very straightforward knit. Sorry for the bumping of the camera. We have a little third here now. And the size, oh my goodness. If you want a good basic pattern that you can, if you just strip this of the pearl stitch and the ruffle and just want something basic that it's so good in the sizing, this pattern is the one. The sizing was so spot on. I almost ever have to modify because my kids are always 2 sizes up or 1.5 size down on the body, or on the width of the body, but 2 sizes up on the length. You know, kids are never ever the same. All kids growing differently. So, but this, I chosen the size 7 for it to be a little bit bigger. And because she's 6 now, she will be 7 in January. And I stick to it. I didn't even try it on, so I just knit it. And then I thought, shoot, I have not tried it on her. That's a boomer. But when I tried it on, it fits so good. It is a little bit bigger, so she is able to use it through all this fall and all winter, and also straight into the summer. I'm sure of it. So, and then I need to knit her another one, even though if I had modified it to a bigger size or something like that, because as I said, they grow like crazy. So here it is, her little sweater with the tying in the back. The only thing I can say though is that something that I should have modified. This ruffle is the same size for all the sizes, I think. It's from 1 year up to 12 or 13. I'm not sure about it. But from 1 to 7, the size of the ruffle is the same. I didn't check the other sizes though. But I should have made this a little bit longer, because it's still very pretty on her. It's very flattering, but it's almost like it disappears a little bit with all her hair going on and stuff like that. So a little bit longer wouldn't have been as bad. And also I think it's when it's rolled up a little bit, because it's I could bind off. So you have this little rolling thingy goes on. It becomes it becomes smaller. So that's one thing. But I will use this pattern again and again and again. I promise, because it was so easy, even though it was nothing what I was looking for in the advancement of it. But highly recommend every single day. So I cannot do that one. Finished object number 2. Now we go to finished object number 3, and that's my tunic. It's straight off the needles, and oh my god, I cannot hold it like that. I hope you can see it. I will try to pop in a picture, I promise. I have a lot of struggles with this. It turned out somewhat what I was planning. I was talking about, can you please stop eating my furniture? Thank you. Oh my goodness. So, anyways, I was asking about 2 tunics last episode, which you preferred, because I was stuck in the middle. And I leaned to this one. I bought the pattern. I was reading through the first page of it, and then they lost me. In the blink of an eye, they lost me. First of all, it's a button-up construction. Button-up for things I'm going to do for myself is not something that I tend to do anymore after my shoulder thingy, because this size is so much smaller on this side. Stop eating my share, Max. Stop it. Get a puppy. It will be fun. So it's a quite big difference between these 2 sizes. It's actually a difference with almost 4 centimeters. So otherwise everything is just sliding down. Even t-shirts are just sliding down on this side and things like that, because I also miss parts that you should have here, like your collarbone. It's gone. So yeah, it's very hard to modify things when you cannot try them on as you go. And the biggest thing I realized, you can try on a bottom up construction also, you can, but I think it's just easier to go top down and try it on when you go, and you can modify it even if it's a raglan. I just skip out a few raglan increases on this side and jiggle it. I wing it, as I said. Or if it's a round yoke sweater, I do more increases on my right side and my left side. So that's the thing I do. So yeah, but I wanted the stitch though, because I really like the stitch, and now I cannot remember what the stitch is called, and I think I did replicate the stitch from that one. I'm not sure, because after the first page I just closed it down and went on my way. So it was two things that got me off guard with that one. First, bottom up construction. The second one was the neck. The neck was like somewhat opened a bit, and when you do have this struggle, I don't like when the thing is just sliding down on this side. I don't. Most of all, it's not the thing of sliding down, but the amount of scarring, the deformation on this side is just, I don't want to see it, so I think no one else wants to, even though I don't think someone else is even cares about it. But it's something that's constantly remind me of all the hell that's going on, and I want to cover it up. This scar on my neck, though, you can barely see it now, and they did a really great and good job in Stockholm, but it was a plastic surgeon who actually stitched me together here. So, but this part is, even a first grader on textile art would do a better job, I can say. So anyway, I digress. Sorry, this is going to be a long one, I think. So I wanted something more with a tighter, snuggle fit. And we are talking about fall and winter clothing here. So opened, stop. Opened, more open over the shoulders and stuff like that. Nah, not this season. And then you have raglan. it's a thing for me. Raglan. I can be going on this raglan all the time. But this stitch, anyway, it's quite easy. It is 1 row knit and purl through the whole row, and then 1 row just plain stockinette, and 1 row purl and knit, and then you repeat those 4 rounds, because you need another round of just straight knitting. So, and then you go on. So very simple, and I hope that was the stitch that they had in that one, even though if it's not, it's very similar. But I add this little bit texture that I wanted. I have no pattern for this. I cast on, it's knitted in Drops Charisma and Drop Kids Silk Mohair. And that was my finding in my wardrobe that I have a lot of yarn from. I think it was planned for a sweater for my husband. I think it was. But too bad for him, it's mine now. So I wanted a double, a fold over neck. So it's a fold over because I wanted it a little bit thicker. And I just winged it all through it. So on this side it's a little bit smaller, as I said. I did the raglan increase for a lot of rows. Cannot remember now. I have all things written down, but it doesn't matter because with this modification and stuff like that, it will probably not fit anyone else than me anyways. But if you want the overall, if you want to go out from this, feel free to ask. I will leave you all the details and you can modify it however you want. So anyway, but every second round I did do the increases on this side, but every third round I did it on this side, so it's a bit smaller. And I did that for at least, I would say, the first 5 centimeters of it, and then I just go for the same sizing. So that's a thingy. Yeah, and I think it's turned out quite nice. Anyway, so no pattern, just winging it. A lot of tries on, a lot of going back and forth and things like that. One time I even tried to do some decreases because I didn't want it to be so wide after the bust area, so I wanted it to be a little bit more waist shaping. But when I did the increases, I soon realized that I'm going to have some errors in the pattern repeats.
So then I remember one thing. Nikki from Knitting with Cat Hair, when she did her Semfree, I think it was, from Marie Wallen, she was actually jiggling with the needle sizes. So she got down or up, I cannot remember right now, with the needle sizes instead of doing an interruption in the pattern. So I did the same. I switched from, I have most part of it in it on 4mm needles, but straight after the bust area I went down from 4 to 3.75 to 3.5 and then 3.25, and then I knitted for that a while, and then I went the other way up. So we have here in the middle part, I don't think you even can see it almost, but you can see it when I have it on. I will try to pop in a picture that it's actually going like an hourglass shaping. So that's a really good tip. That's a really smart girl though, in all the things she do. And if you have not been watching her podcast, you need to go straight over there, because her color shows, I love them. All the things she do, it's just turning out beautiful. So that's my tunic. It's finished. It's straight off the needle and it's still damp, so I need to remember to put it out the floor again so I don't crank it up, because it's in the terms of blocking. Then we have finished object number 3, and this is a little sweater for my tiniest little nephew, my youngest one. He would turn 1 now in November, and what should I say? It's the rainy day sweater, something like that. I will pop it over here. I cannot remember. And I just thought he needed a sweater, so I will gift this to him very soon, very soon. But he do have a bigger brother, my nephew Infrid, my bestie, my best buddy, and they need to have matching sweater for this fall, of course. So that's whip number 1. We have now transitioned into whips. So it's a very easy, if you are wanting to start cabling, you have not done cables before, and you have small kids, or maybe you don't have small kids but you know someone who have small kids and you just want to try it, this would be a good pattern. It's a very straightforward pattern. It's not so advanced that it maybe looks like, and it's very easy to do, but you get a result that seems very advanced. So highly recommend. Are you chewing my yarn? Oh my goodness. Yeah, as I said, get a puppy, it will be fun. That's whip number 1. I'm not going to go so much in detail with that. It's knitted in drops air. I had a lot of drops air left over. I have been so good this year to use yarn from my stash. But when you do cast off something, you know, you need to cast on something, and that something is coming in 3, isn't it? That's my golden rule over here. If I do finished something, I am allowed to cast on 3 new things, but I have only cast on 1 thing, because that little piece, my tunic, I finished yesterday evening. I literally was finished with 11 o'clock on the evening.
So yeah, and I immediately cast on a new one, and here we have the new one, and it's from Wind. It's antique something. I cannot remember, but you will see it on the screen. So this is my beginning of it. I have done a little bit on the color work, and this is how it's gonna look like. And I was really craving color work because it had been a while, and I don't even count the pair of mittens for color work because this was so tiny. So I wanted something that was more or less all over color work, and I have been planning on doing a new Marie Wallan sweater, this one, but I am in this position now that I have way too much yarn here at home, and I need to get down a little bit of the yarn. So for now I'm not allowed to purchase a whole sweater's quantity of yarn. I have said to myself, because I do have a lot of yarn, but it's a separate hobby, buy yarn and knit. So anyway, but the main reason I do have a lot more yarn now than I had before I have been quite careful when I buy yarns and stuff like that. Not when you're talking about the hand-dyed sock yarn, because there I have a lot of single skeins because I love to knit socks, and two of my favorites sock yarn in the dyers, Limo Design and Hex Cattle Dye. They do so much beautiful things, so then it can be a lot, but I use them almost immediately every time, but then I always have a half skein left. So, but enough about that. But I have a lot of sweater quantity of yarn that I have not bought to myself, because my grandma was moving. My step grandfather died in December last year, and she was moving back from the little town she was living in before, where his nursing home was. So she was moving back over here again, not here, but to our little town, so my dad and his sibling could be closer to his mom and help her. She's 88 now, so she's not the youngest person, but she's still going strong though. She's on fire. But she have almost lost all her vision, so she is not knitting color work anymore. She is knitting only plain stockinette sweater for charity, kid size, 2 sizes that she has memorized, and it's literally sitting in her fingers now. She don't even have to have the vision for it, and the little spare vision she has, so she's able to see that it's turning out good. But no color work, no fingering weight yarn. She is now on DK worsted yarn, and so she have gifted me a lot of yarn, and one of the yarns she was gifting me was a lot of these two. So this is Rowan Filtered Tweed, and it was very much for a sweater's quantity for my size. So my whole bag is now full of it, and I have been looking on this sweater for a while. I thought this would be nice. I can use this one for this sweater. With that said, that's why it's not a Marie Wallen on my needles right now, because I need to work up a lot of yarn, because I have in my living room now, I have 3 shelves full of yarn, and I have 6 boxes on the floor full of yarn, and everything is, you can more or less do a two color sweaters of all of the sweater quantities of the same yarn brand and yarn sorts. So she have been thinking of doing something with all of this small bundle that she have putting in plastic bags that lying now all over my place. So I need to work through it though. So no Marie Wallen right now. Even though it's itching in my fingers because I really want to do it. I want to do it now. But I will not. But anyways, when I started this new sweater from Unwind yesterday, as I've been longing for a while though, I was actually standing between 2. This was also one I wanted to do. But then I had to have the grey one as my main color. And the grey one, I don't have the right amount of yarn for the grey one. Because I think I have 8 skeins of this one, the grey one. And I have 16 of the black one. So I needed to have this in my main color. So it would be another time. Another life maybe, who knows. But I realize something, and it is, you can see I losing my, on some spots, you see it disappears a little bit. Now I have been jiggling around, but here you have a good example of it. Let's see if you can see it. There you go. And it almost looks like you have missed something. But I realized quite fast was what the issue was. If you look in this black yarn, let's see if you can see it. It is almost only grey tweeds. And if you look in this grey one, you have black tweeds. And I realized quite fast that when they two meets on those 2 tweeds, it's going to disappear. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It's fun. It's going to be a sweater, and I'm going to use it, and I don't gonna care. And if I lose a lot of the color work in the finished result, then I can always go back and do a duplicate stitch. Wow, brain. So that's my work in progress number 1 that I actually working on, because my nephew's sweater I don't working on for now because it's blue and I don't like blue. Not blue. I have a hard feeling on blue. But today I will also cast on a sweater for Alva. She's my favorite person to knit for. So this is what I will use, and I have a lot of them. It's Drops Fable. That's a sock yarn. Perfect for kids. Perfect. And it's Drops Kids Silk. I will do the Halibut sweater for Alva. She is often stealing my Halibut sweater, even though it's way too long, way too big for her. But yesterday she was actually sleeping in my Halibut sweater because she loves that sweater so damn much, and I do too. But the thing is, the Halibut sweater don't come in kid size. And it's not even planned to be knitted in a fingerweight yarn. It's planned to be knitted in a DK weight yarn. As I said before someone was calling, it's planned to be in DK yarn. But I am a very tight knitter. A very, very tight knitter. Max, please don't. Now we have this beeping sound also. The life with the pup. And this maybe should be DK because I have one mohair, one lace. Not lace, fingering weight, you see. But every time when I do a swatch and have a DK with mohair, then we will meet more like worsted or fingering weight with mohair, and I will meet something like DK. I don't, because I am that tight knitter. I became more spot on the gauge with fingering weight and mohair and the recommended needles. Otherwise, I often need to go up a size on a needle, or sometimes even two, to get the gauge. So we will be fine. This will come out like a fingering weight sweater. So, my mom was just coming in, so I needed to see. She had a little shelf to Victory's room. Yeah, anyway, so I think it would turn out great, because my plan is to cast on the smaller size, and with all the swatching I have done and measuring and the mat, if I cast on the smaller size in the needles 2.5 for the neck, she's going to have a turtleneck because she loves turtleneck. I do too. And also then I will go up to 3mm needles for the body. Hopefully I will manage to actually make this into a sweater without recalculate the whole pattern, because if I do, I think the actual Halibut will be kind of small, and I was thinking maybe I should go, because I also do have the pattern for the cowl and the hat, maybe I should go with the cowl's pattern counts or something like that. No, I would try to figure this out in this way. We shall see in the end though, because if I succeed, it would be good. And also I think she probably won't prefer a fingering weight sweater, because she's like me, quite hot, and quite hot. As I mean, she is very warm over. So and in the school also it's quite warm, so a fingering sweater is more suitable for her. If we would talk about Victory, we would probably talk about bulky, because he's quite cold. So yeah, that's my plan. We shall see in the end. We shall see. I will cast that on tonight. And of course, it is October. That means Socktober. It means Vlogtober. It means a lot of knitting. And we need socks. So I will also cast on a pair of socks. And this I purchased in the beginning of March, I think, or something. And it's from a home fun house, Molly. And this is why. Diagonally, that's mean Harry Potter. And I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I am. I have always been. I actually do have all the houses right over my head here in diamond painting that I have made. This is Slytherin. This is Hedwig with a book. There we have Ravenclaw, and over there we have my house, Hufflepuff. And then I have one with just Hogwarts, the logo Hogwarts, and then we have Gryffindor. So yeah, I will not show them. I just wanted to tell you that that's what it was. And now I actually have using a ball of yarn. Max, where is it? So that's, there it is. That's what's in the making for now. So I would try to catch up with you on the weekdays, not in the weekends, because sip it. The weekends is almost the only time now I see my day. So I will probably spend time with him. Anyway, that was all for the crafty things for today. If you just here for that, thank you for watching. And I hope I see you on Monday. Hopefully, I will not promise anything because it's me. Suddenly, I used absent from the Earth's surface again. But if you want to stick around to just listen a little bit what I have been up to, you are more welcome. As I said, Dave is not longer at home on the weekend. Under the weeks, more or less. He is leaving very early in the morning and he's coming back home very late in the evenings. He is now going to what in US term would be the high school. Here in Sweden is the gymnasium, because the thing from the 6th to the 9th grade here in Sweden. So between you are 12 to you are 15 or 16. The year you're turning 16, you are starting the gymnasium. So between 12 to 15, 16, it is the grade 6, 7, 8 and 9. And that's our high school. Dave had left now what we call the ground school. He is now on the gymnasium. He have started up for what he will become when he grows up. And he is now on the term, before he did his choice for which line he will go. This is a 3 line of education, 3 years educations. Then you can choose. You choose to go for a universal preparing program, or you are choosing to go into a profession program. He have chosen a profession program. He is going to become a truck driver, as my husband, the dad, you know. So he's going to be as much absent as my husband. And now I don't have only to worry about my husband's safety, and he is going to come back home alive. Also my son. I'm going to die in a heart attack, I think. Anyways, it's going to be fine. Dave is really enjoying the new school. He's thriving. He's so happy. He's grown so much this summer. Not on the length. He can stop growing lengthwise, I hope. Keep my fingers crossed, because he's really tall. He is almost 2 meters. So he don't have to grow anymore like that. But he have growing so much in his personal. He's growing up. He is acting like an adult. He's responsible as an adult. It feels like I do have a man in my home. All in a sudden, not a kid anymore. So anyway, rambling on. He's thriving. Alva, she has right now started school. It's her first month in school. She is loving it. It goes so well. She's so happy. Everything is going so good. Victory, switch of teachers, and oh my goodness, everything is going so well for him. He's looking forward to go to school now. We have not struggles. It's a blast. Tuva, my Tuva. She's soon to be 14 now. The 14th of October she is turning. Anyway, she's left in the school that they did leave. And that school is the worst school ever. Me and my husband have actually decided that the two youngest one will not attend this school. We are applying for another school when it's time for them, and it's time for the 4th grade. Then they're gonna switch school to this horrible school, but we have applied for another school for them, or we have not yet, but we will. And I know this we are not allowed to then use the school bus. We are, but we have to pay for it ourselves. Otherwise, it's free if you are going with the chosen school from the community where you live. Anyway, enough about that. So we have to then pay it ourselves or take them ourselves. But I do that anyways, so it doesn't matter. And it is in the little town where my husband is working, so what's the deal? It's a much better school, more compassionate teacher, and the leading. It's way better. So, anyway, I think it's going to be really good. I am quite certain. But the war is still going on with the school and Tuva. And, yeah. It is what it is. I'm not gonna say much about it. It's just depressing. We can leave it out. I'm probably going to talk about it more in this Vlogtober thingy I'm trying to do now. So anyway, but otherwise, why the heck have I been gone all the summer? I have been gone because I have been gone. I have been in my other house high up north in Sweden. I have been home because I literally see it as my home. And we have had the most wonderful summer. Just me, the kids, and my husband. Of course, the dogs too. But anyways, we have left the farm to my mom and dad, and we have just been by ourselves, and it has been a blast. I did run a flat tire though, but shit happens. Shit happens. I do have the spare one though. So we'll have a really lovely summer, and I really needed that one. And this Monday I actually should have a surgery that I have been waiting for so long now. I have been waiting since April, but I have been in two times and been sent back home. Not in this state as this Monday, because then I had to change my clothes into the surgery clothes thingy, you know, when you look so sexy. And they also tried to put in the needles in my hand to go under the anesthesia. That was a boomer, because before my anesthesia doctor arrived, the nurse was trying. She failed. I warned her, but I don't have anything against it. I don't, seriously. I'm not afraid of needles. I'm not feel it's that painful and stuff like that. But after 5 tries, she then decided, no, I'm not gonna do it. And my anesthesia doctor, oh my god, he was so angry at her, because he's there from another hospital that made my nerve transportation. He's the only reason he is there is for me, because this is the hospital that actually destroyed my shoulder from the first time, or my whole left arm. And this other hospital from Stockholm, the hospital I have been to now, is in Uppsala, have actually they cannot do surgery on me unsupervised. And this thingy with this nerve stimulation thing, it's the problem here now, because that thing have come unplaced, and I will explain it soon. But anyway, needs to be done in Uppsala with a certain team. But yeah, he put the needle in after the nurse tries an arrow. You can see my hands, it's still blue. Yes. I have been sitting there for 5.5 hours. And straight after my anesthetic technologic doctor thingy came, he told me he have set the needle in and prepared me. He said he will just go and mix the drugs and all of that stuff and prepare everything. Then the surgeon arrives into the room and tells me, we cannot do the surgery today because we need another surgeon. They knew that the second I stepped my foot in that morning and registered that I was there, they knew. And my husband was sitting outside for 5.5 hours in my fucking car. Sorry. I'm a little bit frustrated. And just waiting to me to get finished. So, yeah, it was a real boomer. I was so furious. So damn furious. Yeah. But the thing is, with this surgery, it is my nerve stimulator. This goes from my ribs. My battery is sitting on the inside with my ribs, and you have a long cord up to my neck. It's going to stimulate the nerves, so I don't feel this nerve pain. It should be much better though, even though I still feel it. Something happened. The cord was actually dropped down quite fast after the surgery, the first surgery when I put it in. So instead of sitting up in my neck, it's now between my shoulder blades. And it allows a very big pressure, it lays a very big pressure on my spine. That type of big of a pressure that's actually making me feel like I sometimes have a hard time to breathe. I have some sensory feelings, like you feel like you are something like small needles going in. Not like if your arm goes to sleep or something like that, but it's something I cannot really explain it. And a lot of pain, a very, 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 very annoying and very bad pain between my shoulder blades, and also a lot of headaches. So right now, and this is just out over my nerve pain, because that's still ongoing thing. But this have led to that I am not allowed to drive my car. I'm not allowed to drive anything though, bicycle maybe, because I'm now on so heavy painkillers. So everything in my life is actually quite depending on this surgery. Because right now I feel like I'm trapped. I need someone to drive me. My freedom is not free anymore. You know, I'm not able to go and leave my kids at school in the morning or pick them up. So I need someone to do all this thing I used to do. And it's frustrating because I know, hopefully it keeps your fingers crossed. I know when they put this cord, it's they taking this cord out, the pressure will be relieved and the pain would probably go away. I can stop taking these painkillers and I can go back to live somewhat a normal life. But they always delay it. This time I went there. I was planned for it. They did everything up to this last 5 minutes before surgery. Then they put me home or send me back home. The time before that, then they realized the cord that I actually went there. The cord was quite bad tangling. So they needed a bigger surgery. They hadn't planned for it. I buy that. I do. Then it's maybe time to take a step back and send me back home and regroup, rethink. Because it was planned for a very small surgery that they thought they could just push this cord up again because they thought it maybe just have moved a few millimeters or something like that make it lose its power, its spot where my nerve damage is. But that wasn't the case. So I can take that. I can do that. But then before the summer, I had a surgery schedule. And 2 days before it, they call me and say that we need to rebook. And under the summer, they have closed because it is in your spine. They don't want to do it under the summer because of the infection risks. I buy that. I know that. It's not my first rodeo. So no of my other surgery have been done under the summer because it's too sensitive. It's too much of a risk, too much danger. So I had a surgery scheduled for the beginning of August. And literally the same morning, the time was scheduled for 11 o'clock, I think. But 7 o'clock in the morning, they called me and say they have to rebook. And now, then I have my appointments set for the 29th of September. And I go there. And I thought, maybe this is it now. Finally, it's going to happen. And they do this. That just... No. I don't buy it anymore. So now I am starting to look to do this surgery elsewhere in Sweden. We have another hospital in Umeå that's close to my other house though. So I'm thinking of actually see how the possibility is for me to go over there instead. First of all, I have never done a surgery in Umeå. So I do not have any hard feelings against them. I do have a lot of harsh feeling to Akademiska in Uppsala because they fucking destroyed me. Sorry for the words again. You see, this frustration is spilling out in bad words. Sorry. But and all the lying and stuff like that after that surgery. So yeah, that's what's going on now. So I have no idea when the surgery is going to be. Hopefully soon, because as I said, I want to have my freedom back. You don't really know how much you are when you're living on the countryside where I do, when you don't have the buses and all that stuff that you can go, how much you actually are relying to be able to drive yourself away from here. I cannot even go to the store. My store is way it's in the closest town. I have literally almost 10 minutes drive over there. You don't walk that. You don't. So yeah, it is what it is though. but I will probably keep you updated on things. But now I need to go. I have a lot of things that I need to do, like cast on the Halibut sweater. But I will probably see you on Monday, and I hope you have a good time then. And bye bye.